to prepare for a competitive event, our go-to company is the Army Painter.
Thanks to their complete range of paints, spray cans, and gaming tools, we're able to complete our new armies and units in no time.
When we need to elevate the quality of our models and terrain, the Army Painter is always our first choice.
You may not know this, but the Army Painter has sponsored more competitive events than any other hobby company.
Tournament and wargaming is in their DNA.
Visit thearmypainter.com to learn more about their amazing products.
And use promo code AWPaints for a 5% discount from your Army Painter purchases.
What are you waiting for? Discover the best way to prepare your models for events with the Army Painter today.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting Thursday live show. We're here with our weekly show called Fix My List. In this episode, we're going to be fixing Space Marine lists. If this is your first time joining us, every Thursday we go live on this channel and take 3 army lists submitted by our wonderful viewers, and then, well, it's in the name, Jack, we fix them.
We fix those lists, let not a list get unfixed.
No, every list must be fixed, and we're doing our part 3 lists at a time. So, if you like this kind of content, make sure that you actually like the content.
Please.
Share with your friends, leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. Tell Jack that you like his shirt. I do every day.
It's important. It's why I continually wear ever more aggressively Hawaiian shirts.
As it should be. So, make sure you do all those things for the algorithm, and thank you all for joining us. Today we're going to be focusing on Space Marines, but if you happen to be a fan of another faction, well, the Emperor may not forgive you, but I will. You can find other armies covered in Fix My List as we alternate who we're talking about each week. So maybe next time will be Xenos or Imperium or Chaos. Sometimes we even do some special ones whenever new armies come out.
That's right.
And we'll see about that in the future, won't we?
We will have to. All right. Well, before we get right into it, I think we have to tell people how they can get their list fixed, because everybody looking at this is like, damn, I wish this were me, you know?
Indeed. So
what you do, if you are a member of the War Room, you go to our Discord, our lovely, lovely Discord, you go to the Fix My List Submissions channel. When you go to Fix My List Submissions channel, you post up your list for the week, and you know, you can include some nice words about me or John. Can't hurt.
Mostly Jack, he's the one who reads it.
I am the one who selects them, but you know, do with that information what you will. But if you're not in the War Room, well, guess what? There's a 3-day free trial down in the link below. You can pop on in, you can submit your list for Fix My List, you can take advantage of all our lovely master classes and our 2 extra stream games a week, as well as our tremendous global community and in our Discord, and see if it's for you.
Absolutely. You can also get access to the Discord by becoming a member on YouTube, but I will tell you, if you use the website, it does also include access to our iOS and Android app. So if you want to watch our content on your phone, maybe you want to download it so you can watch it on a plane. Maybe you want to watch it with the screen closed, just like listen while you're riding train to work or something. That's all available on the app as well.
All right. Before we get into it, we got €5 super chat from Red Rum, says I love them shirts. Awesome, stylish, and great, not like some upcoming Codex washes gold away from his hands.
That's right.
Neither confirm nor deny anything about anything.
Red Drum, if you're looking for inspiration in the future, just know that the 4 arms of the Hive Mind are always there to welcome you. All right.
When we get a full and complete picture of whatever release, you know, the Custodes Codex, whenever it comes out, we'll talk to you about it then.
Indeed. Yeah, we won't be really talking about that much until later. But today's Space Marine Day, and unless you're playing one of those weird chapters, there's not that much gold. Instead, let's start off with something blue, shall we?
A little on the blue side.
A little blue.
Something that makes me feel blue.
My
sometimes.
world is blue. All right, we have here an Ultramarine Gladius Task Force. I'll go ahead and read this out for us. We have an Apothecary, Marnius Calgar. Boy, they sure know how to get a list picked. Put Calgar in it.
Yeah, they put Calgar in. I mean, it would have been more fixable if they hadn't put Calgar in, but you know, we take what we get.
We'll leave him in there.
Yeah, of course.
Then we have 2 lieutenants, one of whom is packing the Fire Discipline Enhancement, a classic staple of the Gladius Task Force.
God, so good.
2 units of 5 Jump Pack Intercessors, 1 Ballistus Dreadnought, 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts, and 3 a Redemptor Dreadnought. So 3 Dreadnoughts total, 6-man Blade Guard Veteran, 10 Hellblasters, then 5 Infiltrators, 1 Repulsor, 2 units of 5 scouts, and a Adeptus assassin.
Okay.
That's
So
the
what?
list.
You're the Ultramarines boy.
I am.
What's your first thought looking at this? Is it God? I love Marneus Calgar.
That is actually my first thought is, well, I'm glad that they've got Marneus Calgar leading, and then it kind of trails off a little bit.
He can lead Blade Guard, right?
He can lead Blade Guard. So what immediately stands out to me here is 2 things. One, the vehicle loadout we have is a little bit off-putting, but that's not the end of the world. What also immediately jumps to my mind is I don't really know where these characters are going necessarily, and I think we can figure it out, right? So an apothecary can join the same unit as a lieutenant, which means that obviously he's going to, because there are only 2 things that these 4 characters can join, and lieutenants can't join each other. So I think that means that we're going to have Calgar and a lieutenant in the Blade Guard, and then an apothecary and a lieutenant in the Hellblasters. My immediate thought is that Calgar in the Blade Guard is a little bit wasteful.
He kind of makes any unit good in combat because he's got his fists. I will say with advance and charge out of the Gladius, Marneus, wait a minute. Yeah, Calgar gives them advance and charge anyway, so Gladius is kind of, I don't know. With Lance plus 1 AP, this unit hits really hard.
You want them in Assault Doctrine anyways. So one of the things Marneus Calgar does extremely well is that he does let them advance and shoot and charge at the same time. So if you have a normal Space Marine unit, they're advancing and shooting or advancing and charging, rarely both. Yeah. This is more useful if you have a unit that wants to do both. What Calgar also provides, in addition to just being an all-around G, is that he brings 2 friends with him, and those friends give you a nice, fun 4-up invuln tank in front of the unit.
They also stab pretty good.
Yep.
I will say, Calgar plus his 2 homies plus Blade Guard is a unit that rivals Sword Brethren in terms of like raw damage.
But then there's also a lieutenant in there, and you know what the lieutenant gives? In addition to lethal hits, he gives fallback, shoot, and charge, a rule that Calgar also gives.
Yeah, I don't think you need the lieutenant in that unit at all, and that probably, I don't see another unit for him to go in.
There is not another unit he can join. He is either by himself or he's in that unit.
Yeah, I'm not strictly speaking against Calgar in 6 Blade Guard veterans. I think that is a good unit. Like, it is a good unit, but we can do better.
That's my thought. That's my thought.
What if Fire Discipline and Marneus Calgar, what if they kissed under the bleachers? What if they were in the same unit and they were on a unit that wanted to both advance and charge and also gain lethal hits and sustained hits?
Yeah. You've got some good options there. Any unit that has Calgar inherently wants to charge because Calgar is awesome.
100%.
You could genuinely put Calgar and this lieutenant in a Hellblaster unit, and then you could put a lieutenant and apothecary, and maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe it's Calgar and Fire Discipline in the Hellblasters and a lieutenant and apothecary in the Blade Guard veterans? Question mark?
I don't know if that's legal.
I believe a lieutenant. What do you mean?
Yeah, an apothecary cannot join Blade Guard.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
It is.
Okay, then we really are locked in on.
No, we're locked in. Yeah.
Okay. So then, okay, so that's where we end up though.
Yes.
Because in my opinion, Fire Discipline, big success. You want that in-dev doctrine, and so it's often advancing and shooting anyways. But if you happen to be getting that unit like just zipping around, shooting and charging, I do feel better. That's what Calgar's helpful for. Yeah. Also, I like giving my big shooty unit a nice like Victrix tank if I have a choice.
It is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Now, Fire Discipline.
What an enhancement.
It's so good. Let me put it this way. I'm currently running a class on how to best play the Gladius. Mm-hmm. And the Fire Discipline section of the class was, you're taking this, just figure out which unit you're taking it on.
So in my opinion, and we can order them as we want, there are 3 units that you would consider for Fire Discipline.
Yes.
In no particular order. Mm-hmm. Hellblasters, Eradicators, Aggressors.
Correct.
Those are the three that I can see any appeal to putting Fire Discipline in.
Yeah, if I wanted to put it in order, it would be Eradicators, Aggressors, and Hellblasters. Now, as much as I wish that I had come up with Fire Discipline Eradicators, a unit I have grown to love a lot, I did not. It was you. But I played it one time and I was like,
You didn't even believe me the first time. I kept the receipts, but that thing is great. So yeah, so in an ideal world, I think we are going to swing that Fire Discipline onto maybe a different character who gives lethal hits. If we can find one.
a Biologist.
That's always what I've got to recommend. I've played 2 games with it on the channel. So Davorn.
Looks like it's his list in chat.
Oh, excellent.
So, hey guys, it's my list. I wanted to make a big brick of Blade Guard with Calgar. Also thought Blade Guard want lethal hits. They do. And did want the Lieutenant with the Apothecary with the Hellblasters. And Kit Smith Hannah in the chat. Hello, Kit, by the way. Hello. It is... he points out that I don't think Calgar can join Hellblasters anyway.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Third on the list.
Calgar plus Blade Guard is legitimately an incredible unit, and I would take it in my Templar Gladius if I could. But there is a better unit out there.
Yeah.
That's important. This one is insanely good, but what if it punched and shot, and it shot really good?
Yeah.
If you have never tried, if you're a Gladius player at home and you have never tried 6 Eradicators with a Fire Discipline Apothecary Biologist, oh boy, you are in for just the time of your life. Like, they are so unbelievably good, it's crazy. And Calgar joining them makes it the best version of themselves.
That does.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Because then they advance, fall back, shoot, and charge all the time. Have 2 ding-dongs hanging out at the start of the unit with a 2-up 4-up.
Ding, ding, ding.
And just tanking for them.
Yep.
And then it also has a guy who has the Fists of Fury at the front as well. That unit is bananas, and it is, spoiler alert, what we are building your army around.
That's true, yep. And one of the things that I often talk about is that in Space Marines in general, you want to try to build Oath independence into your list. Because if something in your list only works with Oath, it's not as good as you think it is.
Yes, because
just practically playing it, because everything needs Oath. And sometimes, oh shoot, I have to put Oath somewhere. Dang it, now my super unit that wants to hit target number 2 doesn't work. If you slave yourself to a specific order, it can just not work as well as you would think on table. It works on paper every time. Oath is always on the right target. Of course it is.
Of course it is. Aggressors.
Why wouldn't it be?
Aggressors are great. Have you seen the amount of damage they do? And then they get to fight in melee. But they're an Oath hog.
Yep.
They need the 1 CP for ignores cover plus 1 AP, or they do 0 damage.
That's true.
They need to target the closest unit. They need Devastator Doctrine, or they don't do anything.
Also true.
And so when you require every buff in your army to go on 1 unit, the rest of your army is like, wait, what about me?
What about me?
And the fun part is, Dan, you don't have the Redeemer. That's okay. This unit can't go in a Redeemer. So
it's too thick.
It's too big. Because the 6 Eradicators plus the Apothecary Biologist is exactly what fits in a Redeemer. So if you add Calgar, it doesn't fit.
Yep.
And that's fine, because that unit's banana lands crazy.
Yeah, it takes them to a transport capacity of 18 if you want to go looking for something that can fit that. I don't know what it is. I also haven't read the Thunderhawk in a while, but we're not putting one in this list, so it's okay.
That's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah, the 6 Eradicators plus a Fire Discipline Apothecary Biologist is, to my mind, one of the top 5 units in the game.
I love that thing.
It is, like, in the entire game, the amount of armies that would take it if they could is, like, all of them.
Yeah.
It is insanity. It overwatches real good. It shoots insanely hard with sustained lethal 5s. I'm just going to cut it short on this because I could talk forever.
Yeah, but I'll add 30 seconds of love for anyone who has missed why we love them so much. Eradicators innately reroll hits, wounds, damage against monsters and vehicles. This means that in shooting, it does not require Oath in order to get reroll hits and get full efficiency out of the critical sustained 5s lethal hits that you get with Fire Discipline. In addition to that, so you're not soaking up Oath. You're not soaking up the Devastator Doctrine +1 AP ignore cover stratagem, because half the time AP4 doesn't need that, but boy, when you do, you can just kill something dead and say, your Land Raider, don't Armor of Contempt, you don't get cover, you can spend a CP for a 6 instead of no save.
They never spend the CP on that. I've done it twice. It is gross.
And now you have Oath free to go somewhere else. As well, this is an insanely good Overwatch threat, because, this is the really fun part, you reroll all hits and your lethal hits. You don't have to even roll to... And sustained. So when you fire 8 shots with full rerolls lethal hits, you get 2 or 3 hits, also 2-3 wounds. Now I reroll the wounds. You, like, on average, kill a Rhino in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like, on average, your Overwatch kills a Rhino.
Oh, yeah.
And that's ignoring the fact that you could split fire and easily kill 2 Rhinos in your shooting phase.
Yeah, so on average, you actually kill something that's tougher than a Rhino. For sure. Like you'll kill, like, an Armiger or something if it walks up to you.
It's just,
you don't have to, but you definitely can, and I think the average is that you do.
Yep.
But yeah, you definitely get out of a Land Raider or run up with Calgar in whatever case. You fire into 2 units, 2 tanks, blow them both up.
Yep.
Then when your opponent moves forward, you Overwatch kill it, and then either reactive move behind a wall or reactive move back into the Land Raider if you have one. It is stupid. It's my favorite unit.
It's quite strong.
So good.
So in this case, we're gonna go ahead and call that unit in. It's also not that expensive.
No, it's 190. What are we doing?
It's going in. I love me those Eradicators.
Eradicators normally pretty... Eradicators.
Excellent.
Normally, they're just a solid, efficient unit.
Gonna bump the Apothecary.
Yeah, this Apothecary's getting upgraded to
I was gonna change the Lieutenant.
Biolo... I can't type today.
Okay.
Biologist, he is 85, and he's getting Fire Discipline.
Yep. There it is.
Go meet. And Lieutenant, get out of here.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good start.
I like
we
that
have
start.
somehow saved points by doing this.
I don't understand that. Yeah, if you like Eradicators, buddy, mess people the hell up.
So here's some interesting things we can do. We've got a lot of options now in the frame of a Gladius, and we kind of have to decide how much we want to change. Now, I believe is Dan in the chat is our wonderful list writer today. So we've got 3 Dreadnoughts and a Repulsor. That's our 4 vehicle package at the moment. The Repulsor looks like it was originally there to hold Hellblasters.
Yeah.
I don't dislike a Repulsor. I think it's still solid, but I don't know if it's putting in enough work that I love it either.
No. I think Repulsor is kind of it's just not a very efficient vehicle on its face. It's decent if you're trying to transport something around the board, but to be quite honest with you, I don't love any of the things it transports.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that the only benefit of the Repulsor in my mind is that you can get a 10-man unit back in when it gets charged. Otherwise, it's usually worth spraying for the Land Raider. We've already kind of decided this isn't going to be a Land Raider list, which I think is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Repulsor isn't going to last here.
Oh my god, we got a significant amount of points back from that. What is happening?
Yeah, no, like that's you really do get a lot of points back by it's just cheaper.
I know, I hear you.
It's just significantly cheaper.
I know, I hear you.
So I think that Repulsor no longer fits.
I don't think it becomes anything else. I think it just audio's
The only thing I could think about replacing it with is getting something like a Repulsor Executioner in, so that you get a gun and a little bit of transport capacity. Because if you think about it, a Repulsor Executioner is just like marrying an Impulsor and a Lancer together.
Yes.
Kind of. You just have to think about it for not very long.
Don't think about the rerolls you're
giving
up.
But the Redbacks is pretty solid.
Has a lot of guns, and I'm sure at the end of the day, those guns will do something.
Yeah. You actually just keep rolling guns until it does something. You don't need to look at the datasheet. There's more.
You could start over on the unit, and your opponent would never notice.
No.
So, because it's just gun after gun after gun after gun. Okay, so we got Jump Pack Intercessors. Let's trim the fat.
Right? I actually love those.
They're I'm not suggesting they're the fat.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
JPI, pretty good. I love them in the Sons of Sanguinius because they go from mediocre damage to very good damage.
Yeah.
They are a little pillow-fisted in the Gladius. They just don't quite have the amount of attacks I would love, like 3 attacks at 4/1/1. Yeah. They have their impact mortals. Still, they love punching down. They don't love punching up, which they're fine. They're a good skirmish piece. I'm not against
the points
them.
I'm willing to pay for it.
Yep. Ballistus Dreadnoughts do not require Oath, a thing I like.
Yep.
I'm not against keeping them in the list. Redemptor, don't love a single Redemptor.
1 feels incorrect.
I think you either go 1 or you go 0 or 2. 2 really allows you to have both of them fronting and really driving the pace at your opponent.
Yep.
1 is kind of, it's just gonna muddle around. It doesn't have enough support to do the shove your opponent job, but it wants to do that, and it's a significant amount of points investment for something that isn't a great fire base.
Sure. Yeah, the Ballistus and Redemptors they all move 8. They have the 2-up save, which is nice. It's relatively tanky to getting shot back, but it's not incredible.
Yeah, Ballistus is an exercise in disappointment, but at least it's 140, not 210. If you want to take Redemptors, I would take 2 of them, personally. I don't hate that, but they are the thing that's going to force their way onto objectives.
Yep. The 6 Blade Guard veterans, 5 infiltrators, Scouts, Calidus. Scouts, Calidus, infiltrators are all good units that I like to have in a Space Marine list. They can all be cut or changed to one of the other things as needed to make points fit, but I think we'll leave them in for now. Do we want to keep that Blade Guard unit in? And because we need, in my opinion, in a Gladius, you want something that's more dedicated melee than what we currently have. I loved JPIs. I don't want to cut them, but I wouldn't call a 5-man JPI a dedicated melee unit.
No, and they don't scale great.
No.
Not in the Gladius. In Sons of Sanguinius, whole nother story, but not in the Gladius.
Yeah, I don't mind them like a 10-man with a captain, but realistically, that's when you stop being a cheap unit.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
I'm gonna be super honest with you. I don't think there are good melee options in Codex Space Marines.
there really aren't.
There really just aren't. We got
really
Blade Guard veterans who are all right. Again, much better in Sons of Sanguinius.
Could I interest you in a unit that is actually...
Oh, sorry, I didn't update the Scouts points cost when I made the
They are
graphic.
65. That's our typo, not Dave's.
Yeah, I used the base for the list that was from December.
Fair enough. Could I interest you in a melee unit with a small asterisk on it?
You certainly could.
It's actually, so it's similar to a Redemptor, but it's toughness 11. And it's cheaper.
Is this... Hold on. You're about to call a Vindicator a melee unit? It is! Okay. All right. Before we get to that, which, fair enough...
There's an asterisk.
Are there any Ultramarines characters that are worth it at all here? Like, are there any of them that, do damage or are cool? Because that's why you take Ultramarines for the characters.
Okay, so let me just run you down. Guilliman is better than the Lion, which makes him the second worst Primarch in the game. Then we have Tigurius, who has incredibly good rules. You can join him to Stern Guard and Tactical Marines and Intercessors.
Hellblasters?
Don't believe so. I think Tigurius has cool rules and doesn't join anything good.
That sounds like a lot of the characters in the game.
Then you have Cato Sicarius, who No.
He's cheap as chips, though.
Cato?
No.
Oh, Tigurius.
Tigurius?
Tigurius's rules...
He's from Blade Guard.
Yeah, but then his rules are free Overwatch.
That's ridiculous, yeah. No, you can free Interrupt, free Heroic Intervention, free Go to Ground, which I guess that doesn't probably matter.
Yeah.
Yes, you can free Overwatch. But every attack that targets the unit is -1 to hit. And then you can free Interrupt or free Heroic, which is legitimately a very good rule.
Yeah.
And then...
he is cheap as chips.
He's cheap as hell, my dude.
He also has a fun... he actually has a quite solid Witchfire. I wouldn't call it incredible, but it's solid.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
6/2/2 2d6 shots blast. That's pretty solid. The hits on 2s.
So he can join Blade Guard now. That is something I didn't catch. I think in the index he couldn't, but that does help a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So Uriel Ventress is amazing. He gives Deep Strike to a unit, but you don't want that on Calgar's unit because Calgar has to be on the board to give you CP. And so if your plan is to do an ingress of Calgar, that's essentially a 3 CP play.
Because you're giving it up for turn 1, and then you're giving it up for turn 2, and then you're ingressing. And I don't know if I'm going to spend 3 CP and 75 points to ingress that Calgar unit. As good as it is, I just kind of deploy it, and it's okay. I want it on the board.
I want it on the board. Like, it's all right.
Also, there's nothing that keeps your opponent off of you so bad, like 6 Eradicators plus Calgar just in a ruin in the middle of the board. Your opponent's like,
yeah,
I don't know about this one, Chief.
It's a whole mood.
Yeah,
I literally built a Vanguard around it, and this version of the list is better, or this version of the unit is better.
Yes, this unit is better. The rest of the list doesn't teleport or shoot as hard, but has more other stuff. Cato Sicarius.
Brother, let's start with who he can join before we look at his rules, which are actually decent.
He can join Bladeguard.
Yep, I think he has a reactive move built in.
Yep, and then he gives Scout to his unit. And ranged weapons assault. But I think giving a unit Scout 6 and reactive move is legitimately
that's not bad. And he's 85.
That's pretty cheap. And his melee is deeply passable.
It is
deeply passable.
He is a Bladeguard veteran with 2 extra attacks and lethal.
He's a captain that can't find a Stour, so you know.
Yep. And has a Power Sword, not a Power Fist.
It's not ideal.
I think I'd rather have a captain. The reactive move is cool, but you're in Gladius, so you can kind of already do that if you need to.
But you can stack them, right? You can reactive move 6, then reactive move D6.
I suppose.
Or you can reactive move 12 if you're in tactical.
I'm too fast. Wow.
Whee!
That's pretty funny. I don't know if that's good. That's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. I actually think one of those character options plus Bladeguard is a decent option.
Yeah, I would agree it's solid. Okay. -1 to hit, free stratagem from the base ones. Or would I rather have
Freelance?
Cato?
Or would you rather have Cato?
Again, Freelance Finest Hour hit hard. I just keep... And then I'm like, wait a minute, what if I just have Assault Intercessors with the Captain instead of this? Instead of this whole adventure? What if I just do that?
So the thing I like about Bladeguard, they don't hit particularly hard for points. They do hit harder than Assault Intercessors. Even with the rerolls and stuff. I promise you they do. They also hand out reroll 1s, which is dope. So it's not like they don't buff the character at all. They buff them less, but they don't not buff them. Nobody in the game is like... You hit them with Assault Intercessors, and then your opponent goes, they're gone.
Yes.
Easy. It's not hard.
Every time?
Every time. They're always just, bye-bye. Whereas Bladeguard veterans, the thing that they do really well, they are more expensive, but they are a lot harder to deal with. It's why I like, in my Space Wolf Gladius, it's why I like Ragnar in Bladeguard, not Ragnar in Assault Intercessors, because... They just kill Assault Intercessors.
When you're building around one piece, I agree, but I don't think there's one piece, like a character that's worth building around, that gets me around the fact that 6 Bladeguard costs more than 10 Assault Intercessors.
I honestly kind of want 6 Bladeguard more than 10 Assault Intercessors.
That's fair. Well,
but
how about 2x5?
2x5? I don't have strong opinions here. I'll be 100% with you.
All right, fine. So let's keep the Bladeguard in. Do they need a ride, or are we just counting on the doctrines?
If we attach a character, we're not giving them a ride, and they're just going to be on foot, and they're going to have to doctrine their way around the board.
Yep.
If they are just 6 Bladeguard veteran, a thing they can get a ride. That is a thing that I only support in the Sons of Sanguinius, because they don't need a character there. They really, really need to, this is a brief aside, they really need to make the unit size 3, 5, or 6, because 5 plus a character in a transport would be awesome, but you can't do that.
You can, just pay the points for 6.
Right, my bad, sorry. I refuse.
What, for 75 points you can replace one of your Bladeguard veterans with an Impulsor. Buy one, give one. It's the new marketing method.
Okay, at the risk of making this video 2 hours, we do need to get through this. So I'm as at fault as anyone.
All right. I think we build into the Dreadnoughts.
I think
3 is the wrong number. I think you could justify going less. I'm fine with less. I think you could go more. I think 1 more Redemptor is a minimum need.
We're on the same page here.
Yep.
Like, I was already thinking about adding a second Redemptor in.
Okay.
Because now we have a solid Dreadnought core, that is legitimately very tough to deal with.
Yes, it is. Now let's put a character in the Blade Guard, because I don't think that they need a ride here.
So the other thing pointing me in the direction of a Captain is you can take an enhancement.
Yes.
And Honor Vehement is very strong.
Yeah, that's just better than Tigurius.
Also, the Lieutenant is useless.
He's a captain now?
Useless here. He's a captain.
Yeah, good for him.
He got promoted, actually. It's weird.
Oh, and he got an enhancement when he got promoted.
He did. Honor Vehement. He's holding up the honor of the Emperor or something. So the Honor Vehement, and
It's like 15, right?
I believe it's 95 for that, if I remember correct. I've always just written him into my list, so I don't, at the start, so I've never had to like finagle with his points. Yeah, he's 95.
Perfect.
So Lieutenant, go bye-bye, and Captain, go
Let's
yes,
just
please.
get a quick points cost on what we've got right now to see if there's anyone else we want to add.
We have 75 points left.
Okay, 75 points is just a scout squad.
So we have a ton of skirmish right now.
We do.
We have 2 units of scouts, a unit of infiltrators, and a Calidus. What I want to do is I want to cut that down and add in some amount of Inceptors. Honestly, Inceptors would be what I want to do.
So we have 75.
We have 75.
75 is enough to promote a scout to an Inceptor.
Yep.
One Inceptor unit, I don't know how thrilled I am with.
I don't love that, to be honest with you. I would think I'd rather cut one of these out
Yep.
to an Inceptor, and then find points out of the skirmish to take a second one. So if I do cut the JPI, one of them, keeping one in as like a unit that can run around and punch a little bit.
Yeah.
We have 160. In order to get that up to 260, we would have to cut
The infiltrators. Which I'm very on board with.
I'm super on board with that as well. We're kind of we've done this before. All right, Inceptors. And this is 130.
Yep.
And we're just going to duplicate that. You can take whatever guns your heart desires. Both of them are good. I could tell you this is what you want, but honestly, you're going to want different ones in different matchups. So you can take one of each. You can take double bolter. You can take double plasma. You will be happy with all of that.
And is that 2K on the nose?
It should be 2K on the nose
Let's
if my math
double check
teacher
that.
has not completely abandoned
The
me.
app programmer is really who we need to blame for that.
I will blame whoever is required for it to not be me. So Inceptors, boop, boop, 2,000 on the nose.
Okay.
So we got Apothecary Biologist with Fire Discipline, Captain with the Honor Vehement, Marnius Calgar, Captain with a Power Fist, by the way. 5 Assault Intercessor Jump Pack, 2 Ballistas, 6 Blade Guard, 6 Eradicators, 2 units of Inceptors, 2 Redemptors, Double Scout, Calidus. That list feels pretty damn good.
Send it.
Yep.
That's the one. Send it.
That's it. I would possibly consider exchanging the JPI for regular intercessors to stick to your home objective. Honestly, that's probably what I would do, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I like it though.
Yep.
Lots of mission play, a little bit more solid of a push, and
Captain's gotta have sword and board.
to join the Blade Guard veterans.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, no, you have to take the Blade Guard captain.
Okay, you still take you take the sword and relic
still
shield. The Honor Vehement makes it a lot less painful than it would be otherwise because you're strength 7 at least. But yeah, I'm not stoked about
Call
that.
Finest hour.
All right, sad I'm not damage 3. Yeah.
Swap Lance. Swap
Honestly,
Lance.
this list seems pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I would run
quite
this.
like this, yeah.
I would run this for sure. Okay, next up, we've got Rent a Patriots, Iron Storm, Spearhead, Iron Hands.
Excellent. So, I don't know if you have any notes for this, but if
gonna
you're
look it up.
checking, I will read the list out.
Thank
so
you.
this is an Iron Hands, Iron Storm Spearhead. We have Iron Father Pharaohs, an Apothecary Biologist with Master Machine War, a Tech Marine with Target Artery Web, and a Tech Marine with Adept of the Omnissiah. Then we have a Combi Weapon Lieutenant, bringing us to 5 characters. 5 Intercessors, regular Intercessors, 6 Aggressors, 3 Inceptors with Plasma, a 5-man Infernus squad, 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts, 1 Brutalis Dreadnought, 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, and a Whirlwind.
There's a significant amount of comments here. So first off, it's his own Iron Hand successor chapter called the Forge Lords.
Excellent.
That's pretty cool.
Excellent.
Iron Father Pharos and Apothecary Biologist join the aggressors. All of the characters run solo. The Infantry, Brutalis, and the Redemptors all move together in one huge death ball. The aggressors and intercessors take objectives. The Infernus provides some overwatch protection and chaff clearing. And the Tech Marine with Adept of the Omnissiah hangs out with the Dreadnoughts to give one of them the once per battle round damage 0 ability against anti-armor attack. Between him and Iron Father Pharos, they should be able to keep 3 Dreadnoughts in good shape for most of the game. The Tech Marine with the Target Augury Web hangs back in my deployment zone with the Ballistus Dreads and the Whirlwinds for lethal hits fun. Between the Death Ball game my opponents face ASAP and these guys shelling them from range, my opponent should have a hard time dealing with either. The LT scores secondaries and generally annoys my opponent. I honestly, if you're pushing up the table with a Death Ball, I would push up the table with the Ballistus too.
Yep. I have a quick thing to check about this.
Si, senor.
So, I'm looking at the Apothecary Biologist, who is designed to join the aggressors with Iron Father Pharos.
Iron Father Pharos, is he a captain, a lieutenant, or a chapter master?
Well, that's the thing, is he can only join if a captain or chapter master has already been attached to it. So, let me now look at Iron Father Pharos, who I recall is none of the things that we just said, but it's possible this has changed in this book.
It's possible.
He is infantry character, epic hero, Imperium, Gravis, and keyword, this is important, Iron Father Pharos. He is not a captain, nor is he a chapter master.
So you
He's
can't
Iron Father.
double join the Apothecary Biologist.
Correct. So that we already have one thing to fix. Rent a Patriot. I'm so sorry that we have broken your 8-man battle ball dreams. Now let's consider where we're at. This is an Iron Hand successor, so we're not going to make it a different chapter.
Much as we might.
You could make an argument for things besides Iron Father Pharos, such as Azrael. As Kit Smith kind of knows, the Dark Shroud's not actually particularly important to this. I'm completely joking. But we're going to keep it Iron Hands.
What does Pharos do?
Pharos is tastefully thick. I actually kind of like him. It's just that when you compare him to access to other characters, he falls pale. But if you have accepted you're not doing a different chapter, I think he is actually worth 95
It's like the Ultramarines Gladius. You get a lot of options that are worth it if you've decided you're already there.
Yes. Once you're there, it tries to get you to stay. It doesn't really tell you to come over there, though. So, Iron Father Pharos gives his unit a 5-up feel no pain.
That's pretty good.
First of all.
That's pretty good.
I like him. Then, he gets blown up near a vehicle, blah, blah, blah. And in your command phase, he picks a vehicle nearby, it gets +1 to hit, and it heals flat 3. So he just has a better version of the Tech Marine roll.
So he gives the aggressors a 5-up feel no pain as opposed to Biologist giving them lethal hits. I'd rather have the feel no pain.
Agreed.
Do we need all of these? Well, all right. First step of fixing a list is generally cutting the fat.
Yeah.
Just trimming the fat away. So we got the Infernus squad.
I feel like they are essential to this. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. We'll bring these back in, don't worry. And the Intercessors, probably pretty good. I've grown to quite like Intercessors.
Yes.
I included a unit of 5 in my Sons of Sanguinius list for this weekend.
That makes me so proud. You have no idea how happy I am to hear that.
I was 10 points shy of Infiltrators.
I get it.
They would have been Infiltrators otherwise.
Sure, yeah, but they're cheap. I'm okay with leaving one intercessor squad in the list.
They stick to your home objective and hold it for you, and that's all you need for them.
I'm of the opinion that 3 Tech Marines is more than a boy needs.
Yes, we also do not need all these enhancements. They're all good, but they're very expensive.
Yeah, so there are 3 enhancements that are factoring in here. Target Augury Web is the lethal hits aura. That one should stay.
That seems pretty good.
Master of Machine War is the aura of advance / fallback and shoot.
That one feels pretty good.
That one feels pretty good.
Does it let you charge as well?
No.
Okay.
Fallback or advance and shoot only, not charge. In either case, it's not fallback and charge either. Adept of the Omnissiah is blank a save. That one is good, but that is the one that I personally have found to be a little bit not worth it.
We can't, unfortunately, take every enhancement because it's like 260 points of a little character ball to support your dreadnoughts. And also, by the end, you're not actually spending the 15 or 25 points or whatever the enhancement. you're going to have 2 to 3 Tech Marines in this list. That is way more than you're going to use in most turns.
Yes. I have found that the difference between the 3 enhancements is Target Augury Web and Master Machine War. You get a movement phase before it needs to be in its place. Adept of the Omnissiah, you need it after... I was going to keep Master Machine War, so I actually like it on the Combat Lieutenant, to be fair.
Which one's that?
Master Machine War.
No, which?
Oh, Aura of Advance and Fall Back and Shoot. Target Augury Web has to be on a Tech Marine. Adept of the Omnissiah is gone, in my opinion. And really, it is that breakpoint of... I think the 80-point Tech Marine...
this guy's going away. Every Tech Marine that isn't holding an enhancement is gone.
Yes.
Which means that if you are including an enhancement, you're paying for the Tech Marine. It's a very expensive enhancement.
Yep. And so you run into a thing where if you want to get Target Augury Web on something, because it needs it, you move the character over pre-measured get into range. But you're not ending your turn with the blanket save in range of every Dreadnought. And then your opponents can be like, as long as you're telling them what the rule does, they're going to be like, oh, so that Dreadnought can blanket save? And you're like, correct, the one within 6 inches of him can blanket save. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, does that mean he can't? And you're going to be like, correct, those 2 Dreadnoughts can't blank saves. And your opponent will figure out the rest from there.
Yeah, in theory, right? In theory, you'll always have it up for everybody. Your opponent will have to run into it. In reality, you're moving around walls, you're moving a 6-inch moving character near to 8-inch moving dreadnoughts. The dreadnoughts might charge. It's in reality, I have played with it. You're protecting less than half of your army with it. Yeah. And at that point, your opponent is just going to shoot something else.
Yep. And I haven't found the army to be so dynamic that the blank saves save you.
Yeah.
All right. So we've trimmed the characters, we've trimmed some of the units, and left some in. I like the Intercessors, genuinely.
I like the Intercessors, too.
We've got 5 Dreadnoughts and a Whirlwind. Here's the thing I think we need to decide right about meow.
Right about meow?
Right about meow. Are we trying to keep this as a March of the Ancients, or are we exploring other tanks? Because I don't think we're going to add 1 tank to this.
No, I think we should explore this as an aggressive vehicle-based push army, because that's battle ball, like a battle ball, ball up, go style. I think that doesn't necessarily require a ton of dreadnoughts, like to add a bunch of dreadnoughts. I do think more dreadnoughts are not bad, but I do think if we come up with vehicles we want, go for it.
I can do that.
The Whirlwind also, I'm very sketch on. I understand the proccing Mercy's weakness for something else, but I think 1 Whirlwind by itself, just to enable another vehicle to use a strat, sometimes, because other times you can actually get the damage on it regardless, I don't really rate 1 Whirlwind.
I appreciate that you came up with a counter argument before I said my piece. I hate the Whirlwind.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Just kill him. No, I don't think it's good.
Neither of us like it.
Nope.
We have had this argument in Team USA chat multiple times.
No.
We're both on the side of single Whirlwind no good. Other people are on the side of single Whirlwind really good. I don't understand that, but...
me no like you.
Me no like you either.
So we now have 5 vehicles. They are all dreadnoughts. I am of the opinion that you either build into the dreadnoughts or you don't at all.
Well, I think we build into the dreadnoughts.
So we're building into the dreadnoughts. So at that point, we're going with 2-up save saturation, which in my opinion means we don't want to take any short-ranged tanks that are less durable in a dreadnought.
Yeah.
So, because normally, and for what it's worth, I personally prefer going tanks over dreadnoughts. I prefer that. I would normally say that I want to go with short-range tanks like Reapers, and then have things like Predators and Lancers and maybe an Impulsor. But if we're going to be in a place where we're pushing Dreadnoughts, I don't want 1 Reaper. As, hang on, you're telling me that's the least tough vehicle and it's the one that I really don't like getting shot by? Oh, that one's dead immediately.
Yeah.
Because if you just give your opponent 1 3-up save tank and a bunch of 2-up save tanks, the 3-up save tank is going to be obliterated first.
What if I told you we were very close to 2 Reapers?
How many points is what's currently on the screen?
1605.
That is... Okay, that is very...
It's very close.
That is very close.
It's very close. So what we could do here is add 2 Reapers and turn the Inceptors into 125 points of skirmish.
Yes. Also, I'm just gonna say it out loud. What are those 6 aggressors doing?
Being aggressive?
Okay. Hear me out.
Badly?
Hear me out, Jackery.
What if they were eradicators?
Nope.
What if they were
Nope.
gone?
No. There will be a Gravis unit at max size in its place.
What if they were heavy intercessors?
That's exactly where I'm going.
I'm
with
here
this.
for that.
Just hear me out here.
It's 40 points cheaper, and it's
40
thick
points
as hell.
cheaper, and it's thick as hell.
It is incredible, actually,
Yeah.
how durable this unit is.
So
it doesn't do anything, to be clear.
It's
but
not
like,
there for damage. It is a screen and a move block, and I'm sorry, there are so many dreadnoughts pushing at you that you strictly do not have time for this.
It's unit's 295. It is 10 Gravis Marines with a 5-up Feel No Pain. It's so thick. It's so durable.
Just go be thick.
Yeah.
You're keeping Pharaohs alive while he heals things. That unit holds your objectives and solves that problem for you.
It is a ridiculously durable unit.
Yeah.
For cost. I don't understand how they came up with that.
Just send it. I like the heavy intercessors here. It also saves us 40 points, which means that we now have 335.
Correct.
Okay.
No, 435, sorry. No, 335? We're at 1565, so that is 435.
Oh, so that means that we could have fit the Reapers before.
Yes, we would have been 1905. Math is very hard.
All good.
It's so tough, man.
We're about to put 3 tanks in, so that's fine.
That's pretty hot. Do you want me to cut the Inceptors?
For 4 tanks? 3 Inceptors are the same cost as a Predator.
What am I doing? No, I was thinking for like scouts, and you love that sort of nonsense. Scouts? You love scouts.
Thick.
I hear you. How am I on this side of the argument? I only take one unit to hold my home objective, and that's it. So yeah, it's probably fine. What are we doing here? The Redemptors, by the way, had max Gatling, a thing that I want to just
say no
to.
Okay, fine. Yeah, plasma. I like plasma. Onslaught.
And Gatling cannon.
Done.
But we're going to take the S off the end of Gatling cannons and make it Gatling cannon.
Love that. Okay, cool. So could you just real quick tell me if we could fit... did you cut the Inceptors?
Not yet.
Could you just check the price on a Predator for me? It might be 135, but I think it's 130.
We're looking for the Predator Goodinator, not the Predator Badinator, right? They're the same points cost, 130.
Yeah, add 2 Destructors for me, just if you would be so kind.
Yeah, no, we have 305 points left.
Okay.
But like actually this time instead of my bad math.
Yeah. So would you?
That's 2 Reapers.
No. I do want to actually voice something here. There is a unit that is the same cost as a Reaper. It's the Gladiator Valiant.
I think the Gladiator Valiant is good. I think it is significant. Like the time where I think it becomes like good enough that I want to take it in a list is in Templars. I think that last multi-melter really pushes it over the edge in my opinion.
Well, we have 5 spare points, so.
Hey.
Okay, but like let's look at where we're at the moment. No. Stay in Iron Hands. We're keeping Iron Pharaohs in the Intercessors out. Pharaohs must stay. Okay. Hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Just like pull up the Valiant data sheet.
No, I know what the Valiant does. The Valiant has a twin Las Talon, that is +1 to hit against the closest eligible vehicle monster.
Yep.
And it has 2 multi-meltas.
Yes.
It's good firepower.
So here's the thing with Ironstorm. You want to have ideally multiple, but at minimum 1 tank that wants the Oath crit 5s wombo combo.
Yeah.
Someone wants that, and someone wants to be the best at it. Right now, we have a lot of good tanks. Bluntly, we don't have a tank that wants to be the guy.
The one to say,
like
you thought you had something there, didn't you?
A Storm Raven can do this role, although I think it's against what we're currently doing with the list. Storm Raven's very good. I don't think this is the list to put it in.
No.
Mainly because I don't know if Rent a Patriot owns a Storm Raven and I don't want to build around it.
I also Yeah, continue, and then I have a stretch goal here as well.
I like a Vindicator for that role. Reapers sometimes fill that role, very much depends on the target.
Yes.
And a Valiant fits that role.
Valiant do be having 6 shots that when they reroll to hit and get crit 5 sustained, sustained lethal 5s with full rerolls to hit on 6 shots is particularly nuts. I'm okay to put like 1 or 2 in here. Here's a stretch goal.
Yes.
I think that Brutalis can do more with its life. I think it can even become a Redemptor.
Okay.
I don't know how we find those points.
Oh, okay. I thought that was where this was going. That you like had the points and and I was like,
I just want them to be better.
Sure.
A Brutalis is not amazing.
Now that I can endorse the Brutalis being unamazing. What about just do me a solid and look for me? How much is a Repulsor Executioner? And I believe the Destructor is the good one.
Yeah, it is. And that's just 130.
Comical. Truly.
I will update the graphic to where we're currently at.
Yeah, I just want to know how much a Repulsor Executioner is.
I remember it. It's also Repulsor Executioner. I know is the one where it does not scale well into Templars because it's like 15 extra points for the multi-melted instead of 5.
Got it. It's 220 base. Would you like to know what guns are in it?
Hit me. There's gonna be a lot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's just say we're doing the heavy laser strikes. I think that's the one you want to do. Macroplasma Incinerator is just the same gun as the Redemptor. So 2 shots at 16.4 d6 plus 4. Heavy.
Pardon?
2 shots at 16.4 d6 plus 4.
Jesus Christ.
12 shots at 601 dev wounds.
Okay.
Because it's the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon.
Got it. Cool,
the Icarus rocket pod, you know what that does.
Yeah, no.
1 Iron Hail heavy stubber.
Right.
This we don't have.
Got it.
10 shots at 401.
This is going downhill fast.
Okay. 3 shots rapid fire. So a twin anti-fly Iron Hail stubber. And a twin heavy bolter.
The twin heavy bolter and the onslaught aren't mutually exclusive?
No.
It's a lot of shots. It does go downhill after the first.
Yeah, no, obviously the best shot is the first one.
I think the Valiant is better than that if you're looking for the damage, the damage. The Valiants are a little easy to intercept on their way in, but like if this is behind Redemptors and Ballistas and...
Yeah.
To be clear, every vehicle in the army goes forward in this list.
Yes.
There is nobody standing back and shooting, because then it lets your opponent interact with the stuff you're putting forward.
We don't do that.
No. Everything go forward. I'm down to add 2 Valiants.
Yeah. We could even do 1 Valiant, 1 Reaper, and we can kind of have the Dreadnoughts be the front of the push, the Gladiators the back of the push, and kind of use them as we need them.
That probably rings better to me, honestly.
Yeah, just 1 of each.
Yep.
I like 1 of each. Yeah.
Whoop. And then Reaper. And then here's where we land.
That is 1995.
It is.
I have a sickness. The only cure is more thickness. I mean, this is an incredible amount of hulls.
This is 9 hulls.
9
and
hulls.
They're not all easy to kill. And then on top of that, you have 10 heavy intercessors with Ironfather Pharaohs.
Yeah.
If anybody kills you by the end of the game, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's not a thing.
That's fake.
Yeah, you can take Iron Storms a lot of different directions, but I love this one. Because it has 10 heavy intercessors with Ironfather Pharaohs, the thing I've always wanted.
That is a funny unit.
It is a funny unit.
It's a very
You stick to your backfield, you push the entire battle ball of guns up. If someone tags you, fall back, shoot. You just keep that combi weapon lieutenant alive, and then you shoot them. That's actually it. You're just gunning them down. It's just guns. Is there any army that can actually just wipe this list? Yes. There are armies that could wipe this list. Will they every time? No one does it every time.
Also not quickly.
Quickly is a whole other thing. I can definitely get this in 5 turns.
Oh, there's a lot of armies that if you're playing this and you just let them hit you for 5 turns unimpeded,
that'll be a problem.
That would be a problem. So impede them.
Impede them.
Impede them.
Indeed. I think we call this one good. I think we send that right as it is.
All right. Last up, we've got one that's near and dear to my heart. Righteous Crusaders from AJJ22.
A JJ.
A JJ. All right, so if you want to read this out, I will find out. I'll find out if they're.
I'd love to. We have a chaplain with Perdition's Edge, which sounds like it makes his crows just sharper. Then
It
a
does.
lieutenant with Tannhauser's Bones, which is the one that makes the unit not able to die. I like that one. High Marshal Helbricht. Good.
Yes,
Chaplain
he do be
Grimaldus.
slapping.
Very good. The Emperor's Champion costs 120 points. Not what I was expecting.
Yeah, that's
Is he like 95 maybe?
He's 75.
75.
He's dirt
wow.
cheap.
750. Are you
That's
okay?
a lot, yeah.
20 Primaris Crusaders. Run it back again. 3 Eradicators, 5 JPIs. I love that part. Scout, a Land Raider Redeemer, and 2 5-man Primaris Sword Brethren units. Okay. So it appears to moi, just eyeballing it, we've got 2 Primaris Sword Brethren who want to get in the Redeemer. You don't
Yeah.
have to. You could do something like 5 Sword Brethren and an Eradicator squad, I think, with the attached character.
Grimaldus cannot. Grimaldus either goes in the Redeemer solo, like him plus his unit, and that's it. That's all in the. It's in the Redeemer.
Well, I assume
Grimaldus probably joins Primaris Crusaders.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
that's where I thought that was. So let's figure out the characters first, John.
Yeah. I have, by the way, I have been thinking recently about what if I just take Grimaldus, put him in Sword Brethren, and just put him on the board. Because I do think that unit is quite good.
And Grimaldus is great, almost no matter how you slice it.
Grimaldus is cracked.
So
yes.
Grimaldus in a Crusader squad.
Let me read out the comments real
Oh yeah,
quick.
please give me the comments.
Greetings, Art of War. Appreciate all that you do. Consistently great content. Thank you. This has been more or less the core of my Templar list for 10th. Curious about any suggestions you might have.
Okay.
All right.
So, I assume High Marshal Halbert goes in 1 Crusader squad. I am then assuming that the Lieutenant with Tannhauser's Bones goes in the other one.
Primaris Crusader or Primaris Sword Brethren?
Crusaders. Right? Because Tannhauser's Bones gives the 5 up Feel No Pain, right?
Tannhauser's gives the 5 at Feel No Pain. It does take away Scout, but you probably don't care about that.
I assumed the point was that we have 40 Primaris Crusaders who all have a 5 at Feel No Pain.
I'll be 100%. Yeah, we have 5 characters, 4 units they want to join. So one of them is doubling up. The only one that you can double up is Lieutenant and Helbrecht. So my guess is that's what's going on here. And then Emperor's Champion and Sword Brethren, Chaplain in Sword Brethren, Grimaldus and 20 Crusaders. Because otherwise you would have characters who can't join.
Yeah, and I see no reason, because the Sword Brethren are 5 mans. Tannhauser's Bones is going on to 20 man, not the 5 man.
It's 100% going on the 20 man. I am probably going to make a case for 10 Sword Brethren plus Helbrick plus Lieutenant in a Redeemer, the Helbrick.
The Helbrick, yeah.
The Helbrick, I really like the Helbrick.
That's fair.
I also really like Helbrecht in Sword Brethren, because Helbrecht in Sword Brethren, his sweep becomes vile. In Primaris Crusaders,
When you have 10 Sword Brethren, do you ever roll his sweep unless you're doing it first for style points?
you multi-charge.
Sure. I'll pick them both up, don't worry about it.
Also, I will do style points, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. What do we want to change here?
So,
Because if you're thinking a Hellbrick, which I can support, that means that 1 Crusader squad doesn't maybe have the same amount of beef.
it doesn't. So, here's the thing. What do you get by having Primaris Crusaders being unled? You do actually get a buff from them being unled.
You get Scout.
You get Scout. And they still have the 6 of Feel No Pain.
Not nothing.
And Scout on a 20 man is pretty nasty.
Okay.
I think if you want to go the Primaris Crusader Swarm route, I think you take a 20 man with Grimaldus and then 2 20 mans at minimum. You can take more if you're a crazy person. You could put Tannhauser's Bones in Primaris Crusaders.
Yes.
I don't hate that. You could put them in Primaris Crusaders with a lot of different characters. There's a chaplain, I believe. I would have to double check. You could put a Justiciar in them with Tannhauser's Bones.
True.
So they would fight first if your opponent charges you, which is pretty nasty. Emperor's Champion, I really like in 5 Primaris Sword Brethren. I think he's really good. He's just a cheap damage dealer.
Here's my question for you. Do you think 40 Crusaders and the Hellbrick fits in the same list? or do you take 2 bricks as the cap? Do you think 3 bricks? Because like we can have skirmish units, like 5-man Sword Brethren with the character, and then we can have bricks, which is either Primaris Crusader 20s or 10-man Sword Brethren. Do you think this can support 3 bricks, and should we try?
I think it can support 3. I think it can support 3.
Do you want to take it that way?
We don't have to. So Tannhauser's Bones, we're stuck with a minimum of, or maximum of 2 units that get the Feel No Pain, right?
Yes.
Tannhauser's and Grimaldus. Grimaldus is going in Crusaders, basically every time. Tannhauser's Bones can go wherever we want. Anyone who doesn't have that is less impactful. So I'm not 100% sold on necessarily having Tannhauser's Bones or Grimaldus anywhere. I could see 2 units of 10 Sword Brethren, one with Tannhauser's, one with Grimaldus. Brother, that hits. I could see 2 20-man Crusaders with Tannhauser's and Grimaldus. I mean, I'm okay if we want to try and make the thickest 40 Primaris Crusaders possible and then have tradey Sword Brethren units.
Yeah, that's what we're currently doing. It's just a question of, would you is that how you want to keep it?
We can keep it that way.
So if we keep it that way, do you like the 5-man Sword Brethren being locked to 1 transport, or do you want to try to find another?
What I think I want to do is I want to have a Redeemer and then probably 1 or 2. And this gets expensive really fast, is the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
If we have them both in the Redeemer, that vehicle is like 700 points.
Yes.
And that is a problem because you're putting it all in one place. The Redeemer is cracked. The Redeemer's turbo cracked even.
Yeah. You could always trade a JPI for a Black Templar Impulsor so that you at least have the Sword Brethren staging out of different spots.
I do like that. I'm going to suggest some amount of Impulsors here.
Yeah.
And we just get Sword Brethren in various spots around the board.
I'm going to ask, knowing your answer.
Continue.
Is it worth having a Redeemer in this list? The Redeemer is a great data sheet. It does not get anything special from Righteous Crusaders, but it is a great data sheet. But would we rather decentralize a little bit?
I think we do want to actually decentralize. I also think that this, without cutting the Redeemer, we don't get the breathing room to go to where I want to go.
Yes.
Which is 3 units of Sword Brethren.
Yeah, I'm aware, and so I just wanted to... I know that hurt you, and I'm proud of you.
It's not fun.
I'm
it's not
proud
fun.
of you.
Also, like a lot of lists, we have too many characters.
Yeah.
We just have... We
do.
I mean, we probably want 5 because we're going to add a unit, but we're going to stay the same. We do not need Helbrecht and Lieutenant in a 20-man Primaris Crusaders
It'll
unit.
just be the Lieutenant
It'll
with Tannhauser's.
Or Chaplain, or well, I'm going to find out honestly what can join them, because I've passed Grimaldus.
Do you have a
really
fallback
sure.
in charge in Righteous Crusaders?
No, Grimaldus does it if you give up the Feel No Pain, which he'll do occasionally.
Lieutenant has it on his data sheet.
The Lieutenant does have it on his data sheet. Gives out lethal, so you could pick sustained.
Yeah.
So they're lethal sustained.
I think
That's probably better than a Chaplain, and by probably I mean it's definitely better.
Because if you just get tagged on the corner by a Rhino and your unit is useless, I hate that. I like both being functionally capable of falling back and charging.
I agree. Okay. Good opposition will tie up your Primaris Crusaders. They hit hard, but they don't hit hard. They hit hard as a group. Mm-hmm. They don't hit hard if your opponent tags the end of the unit.
Which is what they will do if they're savvy.
If they're savvy, they will prevent you from doing anything. So I do like that. And Grimaldus doesn't want to fall back and charge.
Just threatens it enough.
Can do it.
Because if it's a crack the game open play, you'll do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And you still get the 6 of Feel No Pain.
Yeah, so it's not the end of the world.
So you'll absolutely go for that. So I do like having both units able to fall back and charge. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's important, honestly.
Okay, Helbrecht does not need to go in Primaris Crusaders. That unit hits hard enough, is durable enough, we do not need Helbrecht in there.
Just put the third Sword Brethren.
Yeah.
We know where this is going.
Let's stop beating around the bush here.
I know what's happening here.
So there we go. We've got 3 units of Primaris Sword Brethren. This list hits like just an absolute freight train.
Do you want to just tell me where we're at currently points-wise?
Yeah, let me find out. Let me put this in. So we got Chaplain Grimaldus.
Yep.
I do agree the Lieutenant is better here. And the Lieutenant's better than a Castellan for 2 reasons. 1, his power weapon has an extra attack for no reason.
Okay.
2, he can take a Power Fist, which is what you do.
Fair enough. And
the Castellan has neither
give
of
up
those.
the combi weapon.
You give up the combi weapon, but I think you have a different weapon. You
You get a plasma pistol.
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't really care. Yeah, I don't really care. We've got Emperor's Champion, who will probably be staying in the list, because I do like him quite a lot. You got Lieutenant, Chaplain Grimaldus.
Leave the enhancement off the Chaplain for the short term, I think. We can try to add it back on later, but let's just see what the point is.
I'm leaving the Chaplain out entirely. We're going to pick the 5th character. It might be a Chaplain, but we'll decide.
So we'll leave the Chaplain off until we see what the points work out to.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine with me.
So Tannhauser's is definitely going on, because that's a correct relic. Battle line, we've got Primaris Crusaders, Bink. So getting that up to there, and there we got the big Bing squads for sure.
Bing squads.
Dedicated transport, none of those yet, but there will be some soon, do not be concerned. Eradicators,
Yep.
Assault intercessors with jump packs, those are probably going to get cut.
I have a suspicion as much, yeah.
Yeah, Scout Squad, and then Primaris Sword Brethren. So we're not going to have like a ton of points left, but we're going to have 200.
200 clean.
200 clean. We need a 5th character. We need transports.
Cut the JPIs now.
Yeah, let's not beat around the bush too much.
Okay.
So
how much is an impulsor? Not a Templar impulsor, an impulsor.
80.
80.
Templar impulsor is 85, and you actually have to take a Templar's impulsor. Righteous Crusaders restricts.
You can't take the regular.
You cannot take regular impulsors.
Oh, I did not even know that.
Yep. In everything else you can choose. In Righteous Crusaders, they're like, no, you're Templars. What are you doing?
Okay.
Yeah. So
do you need? So let's add 2 impulsors to start, because I think 2 is the bare minimum, and we'll look at 3. Right.
Right.
So let's just add 2 and see what that.
Bink Bink. We have 115 points left.
115.
We still need a 5th character.
Yeah, we definitely want a 5th character. The cheapest possible option is a 65-point Chaplain, correct? Not to say that that's what we're going to go with.
I think he's 60?
That is not expensive.
Chaplain is 60 on the nose. Dirt cheap. Like, just absolutely dirt cheap.
And what does that leave us?
So that would leave us, if we included just a basic Chaplain, 55 points.
So obviously that's not getting us...
No.
What if...
So...
I have an idea that I know you're going to like.
I also have an idea, but I'm willing to hear yours first.
What if we replace both scouts with 1 intercessor?
That's not honestly the direction I was going. But
You were going to cut the Eradicators?
What I was planning to do was turn this entire package here into the Infiltrator No Deep Strikey party bus.
Oh, just an infiltrator with...
Just 2 infiltrators.
Oh,
just 2 units of infiltrators. You don't get to go behind me. I have 3 transports in front, so my screens are impeccable. You have to run directly onto swords.
It's true. You'd have to run directly into swords.
Yeah.
Also,
apparently, let's take a look at who has assault weapons, which is a good thing to point out in Brother Tobias' chat.
I believe the Primaris Crusaders have an assault weapon.
Do they?
Thought if you just took like 1 bolt gun, it was assault. Like your neophytes, you just take like 1 dude with a shotgun.
Oh yeah, I mean you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
The lieutenant does not have an assault weapon.
But he could take one. Do you got a bolt rifle?
No, he cannot take a bolt rifle.
Oh, okay. So the lieutenant cannot take an assault weapon.
Let me see what the war gear options are. So, bolt pistol, master crafted bolt rifle, a master crafted bolter. I don't know. It's not on the app. The master crafted bolt rifle.
Oh, it's not on the app.
Yeah.
Master crafted bolter. I don't know that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can always just take like a shotgun in the unit if you want an assault weapon, which you probably would do.
Yeah, probably.
So that'll be fine.
Oh, apparently it comes with a master crafted bolter. It's just a typo in the what can be.
Sure, but it's not assault inherently, so that's fine.
Yes.
Okay. We could replace things that are literally mandatory are the 4 characters we have, not the Chaplain, although that's probably going to get added, and then the Primaris Sword Brethren and the 40 Crusaders. Scouts and Eradicators are things that I like.
Yes. Let me start adding in impulsors because we've already started.
We know that there are going to be 2 impulsors, yeah. Minimum. There might be more.
Oh, God, I hate that font. All right, carry on.
What? So if we do that, we get 120 points free in addition to the points that we have, which could be enough for like another impulsor and then like a much better character. I don't know.
I'm not against trying to take a better character.
Yeah, you'd always like a better character, right? You might as well while we're here.
Yeah. I kind of want the captain at some point.
I agree.
Yeah.
Battle tactics are solid.
The battle tactics are all right. I'm just going to add two more impulsors, and we can cut one if it becomes absolutely necessary.
Yeah, but I think 3 is the right place to be.
I agree.
If we replace both scouts with an intercessor unit, I think that works, and then we keep the eradicators, which gives us more units and guns. Because the sneaky part about eradicators is that they are actually mission play units. They just happen to also have melta-guns.
They do. I hate having to rely on them to do anything because they are very swingy.
They are. It's most about the threat, I find.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think we need infiltrators in this list. We have impulsors. They can hit the Crusaders.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's literally just to say, hey, don't deep strike behind me. Maybe that's not that important. I mean, I'm down to just say this is intercessors.
That gives you one clear thing to leave on the back objective, which we are currently lacking, and it also stickies it.
Yeah, because scouts don't necessarily really want to go on back objectives.
Yeah.
Things that go forward, though, see, eradicators are sneaky mission play. You know what else is sneaky mission play? Impulsors.
That's true.
Once units get out of impulsors, the impulsors just hold objectives and do actions.
Yep.
So now let me find out how many points we have left when we do that. I suspect...
Honest to goodness intercessors in 2 lists today. And
they're-
heavy intercessors in the 3rd. It's a new world out there, people.
And they're in my tournament list for Saturday. I have 5 intercessors there as well.
I actually like intercessors.
Me too. I think they're quite good. Sticking objectives, they're not that expensive. They're harder to kill than scouts by a significant amount. Because +1 armor is just good. And they stick you the objectives, so they're like budget infiltrators. Because what you do is you ring the puck on your home objective, and then if they deep strike down, kill your unit, you're like, well, I still score primary.
Yep.
So we are left with 105 points. Sorry, did I say that? I meant 20 points when I added the last impulsor, but we've already paid for the chaplain.
So we have 20 points.
20 points left.
Is a captain exactly 80 by any chance?
He is exactly 80.
So no enhancement, but I think that's worth it.
Yeah, Perdition's Edge is the one you think about. It is +1 AP to him, and then a thing that you won't do if you
do a different thing.
If you do it,
like if it's only +1 AP, then that's not enough.
It's not. It's not. I'll double check that it's +1 AP, but I'm like pretty confident in that. +1 strength and AP.
That's cool.
Yep, and then if you're in a vow you're not going to take, you get something else that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yep, so I think you just take a captain. I think a captain with a power fist is just better than a chaplain in Premier Sword Brethren. It's not like particularly different, but Perdition's Edge on a chaplain is pretty funny.
Yep.
But I think it's a captain, and then you can double dip on the +1 AP strats. It's kind of like he gives +1 AP to the unit, and it's pretty good. Captain, we're looking at a power fist and all that. So. Pink.
Yep. So I think this is the final version, and I like this version as it is.
You could also Judiciary them.
That's true. Is the Judy also 80?
He's 70.
70?
You don't get an enhancement that's relevant at that point, but like that's okay. You get Witch Seeker bolts that are the worst thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, but you do take them.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I suppose.
Okay, so this is a final 2K list.
Yes.
Chaplain Grimaldus, a lieutenant with Tannhauser's bones. These 2 characters are designed to join the 20-man Primaris Crusaders. High Marshal Halbrecht, the Emperor's champion, and a captain. These are going to be joining the Sword Brethrens. Then we have the aforementioned Crusaders, 2 units of 3 Eradicators, 5 Bolter Intercessors. You put a
God bless
you put
America.
a weapon on the sergeant.
You do. Power fist, baby.
You've got 15 Primaris Sword Brethren with the right weapons, 3 Templar Impulsors with shield domes, and a multi-melta. And it's your choice of Storm Bolters or Assault frag weapons. It doesn't matter, really.
You just take shield domes. Your goal is to ferry your troops around. You want to do that as good as possible.
That 1 missile shot ain't the deal breaker. Being alive always matters.
Yeah.
Telling Fuegan to stop.
Oh, God.
It's
Fuegan.
important to me.
Let me tell you a very, very quick story. I was playing at the World Champs. I had 3 Templar Impulsors with shield domes because I played 1 game into Quentin ahead of time, and in deployment I realized I was going to die if I took the missiles. I was like, there's shield domes now.
Yeah.
So I was playing against Yokel Johansson, who is a very good Eldar player.
Indeed he is.
And turn like one, I think bottom of turn one, he flat 6 advanced his stupid little way leaper boy right next to an impulsor and had a 15-step plan about how he was going to kill the impulsor, and he had to flat 6 to get over a wall or whatever. He was going to kill the impulsor, fire his stuff at it to make sure it died, and then he was going to shoot indirect at my unit to nuke that unit off the side of the board. And so he fires his way leaper, he hits, he fails to wound, he re-rolls it into a fate die, which was a thing is the way of the times. And then I was just like, 5. Bink! On the show though, it just goes, that is bad. And I'm like, yeah, that's bad. It's really bad, man.
The 5 with Benevolent is 100% worth it.
He shot the entire rest of his army, barely killed the Impulsor, and then I just had 5 Sword Brethren standing in front of the 3 units that were supposed to kill the Templar Impulsor. Adding that in just gives you, like, that wasn't a bad play on his part, it's just adding the Shield Dome gives you a failure point for your opponent's game plan. And it is super helpful. And the random little crap gun that you can get on top instead is not worth it over that. Yeah. Brother Tobias, €5 super chat. Love the list. Thought about dropping the Artificer Captain for the Emperor's Champion to make space for 5 Intercessors over 5 Scouts for home field. Perfectly viable. Perfectly reasonable. If you're doing that in the Gladius, go for it. The Emperor's Champ is very good.
Yep. This would
be in Gladius.
For the Emperor's Champion? Oh, okay.
In Black Templar Gladius.
Got it, Black Templar. Okay,
because Artificer Captain is...
Oh, okay, so this is a reference to a different list.
It's a reference to the, to the Black Templar's Gladius.
Got it, okay, cool. Sounds good. Yep. I very much support 5 Intercessors if you happen to have the points for them.
If you want to swap this list out and take the Captain and swap it out for a Justiciar, go ham. You can totally do that as well.
Pop off. All right. I think that was our last list for today. Which means we are done fixing lists. So, if you enjoyed this, make sure, as always, that you like the video, leave a comment, tell Jack how cool his shirt is, talk about the list, tell us which of these lists you like the most, tell us if you're surprised that there was an Intercessor variant in every single list today.
Did we?
Yeah, we had 2 Intercessor squads and a Heavy Intercessor squad.
I think they're legitimately very good.
I do not regret the choice in any of these cases. That wasn't memeing, I genuinely believe in it in all 3 lists we did.
Yeah.
And so, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do the comments, do the things, and if you want to get your list in a future Fix My List, the way to do it is the Fix My List submissions channel of the Art of War Discord. And of course, the best way to get into the Art of War Discord is to become a member of our YouTube community, or to click on the link in the description below and check out the War Room. That will also, in that link, get you a free 3-day trial so that you can check it out. And of course, if you go through our website, it'll even include access to our iOS and Android app where you can get our content whenever you want it. All right. That's all for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.